thank you, Ethan and Aaron, of course, for your wonderful help with them. For our next performer, we're going to have a person who's no stranger to the TJ stage. This is Tom Horton, and he's going to be doing a selection from Richard III. Quite appropriate, considering they just dug him up last year, and he's going to be digging up again tonight, and he'll be doing this as a performance from William Shakespeare. So we hope you enjoy.
Before I start, because I will start off stage, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about Richard III, because you didn't know. Because this section really paints him as a very different person than who we suspect he really was. So Richard III has a couple of titles. He's known as the last Plantagenet King of England, who, and my father can correct me if I'm wrong, were all directly descended from William the Conqueror, who arrived in 1066. He's also the last King of England to die on the battlefield, at the Battle of Bosworth, outside of Leicester. And of course, as Mr. Carney highlighted, he was dug up in a car park, just in it's either the Black or the Greyfriars Church, or what was the Black or the Greyfriars Church in Leicester. Shakespeare was also playing to an audience, considering how the Queen of England back then, Elizabeth I, was related to Henry Tudor, the guy who killed Richard. You really don't want to paint a picture for that Queen of Richard being the rightful heir to the throne and not Henry Tudor. The Tudor family had a little bit of a history with, sending people to the Tower of London. Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this sun of York, and all the clouds that lured upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarums changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front, and now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber, to the lascivious pleasing of a lute. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass, I, that am rudely stamped, and want love's majesty to strut before a wanton ambling nymph, I, that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionably that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. Why I, in this weak piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, than to spy my shadow in the sun, and descant on my own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover, to entertain these fair well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain, and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous, by drunken prophecies, libels, and dreams, to set my brother Clarence and the king in deadly hate, the one against the other. And if King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, this day should Clarence closely be mewed up by a prophecy which says that G of Edward's heirs, the murderer, shall be. Die thoughts down to my soul. Here Clarence comes.